Hello everyone, Charles from the Bible Unbound. And what we have for you today is a companion to the Holman Handcrafted that I showed you a couple of videos ago. So this is the personal size reference marbled Burgundy Calfskin edition. So as we take a look at this, we can see the boxes side by side. So this is the wide margin and this is the calfskin. So you can tell since it is personal size, it is a little bit smaller. We'll take a look at the features in the back. So this is going to be a calfskin premium leather cover, Smyth-sewn, high quality paper, personal size trim, 2-column format, 7.5 point type. So this is a little on the smaller side. So my sweet spot on my Bibles I like to read are somewhere between the 9 and 10 range. So it's a black letter text, no red letter text, art guild pages, 2 ribbon markers, nice little where to turn section in the back, presentation page, and 4.5 by 7 page size. So let's open this up and take a look. Comes with this nice Holman Handcrafted collection guarantee on here. Very nice. Take this out of the inner box. Open it up. I like the way they wrap these. Very nice. So this cover, I like this marbled burgundy. So they have a couple different color options on here. I really liked the way this burgundy looked on the pictures, and it looks really well. I like this gold gilding, which is a red under gold. As you can see, we turn this a little bit. It's very tastefully done. It gives that nice kind of a red gold look to it. I like that look. And you'll see it has CSB, Holy Bible, Christian Standard Bible, and Holman logo with 5 raised spine hubs to help protect that spine. I like the stitch work all the way around. It's pretty nice. Open it up. This leather in sheet here, and very, very nice inner cover. I like the stitch work around these corners. Pretty nice. Nice tasteful gilt line into the tab, that little sheet for that edge line sheet. Holy Bible, I missed it. So a nice thick presentation page. Holy Bible, Christian Standard. And then a copyright page shows a couple of the binding options here. So I really like this marbled burgundy. They have a slate design too that has more of a silver gilding to it, which is very nice. A couple leather touches and a black genuine leather. I want to look at some of those options. So it's a table of contents, standard Old New Testament. It doesn't have a lot of really extras in the back besides a table of weights and measures, maps, and a little where to turn section. So let's get the, looks like the ribbons. Let's get these out. So there are 2 ribbons, a little on the thinner side. Not super long, but still it looks like you're going to be able to use them pretty easily to find your pages. Really nice design. I like that. After the table of contents, you get into the introduction to the Christian Standard Bible. You'll hear me say this on every review I do. Read that preface at least one time on a new version that you've never read, because there'll be some little differences that might make your reading experience, a little bit better. Like one of the things that they actually point out, you'll see it in, I think, here they actually tell you about the words in bold. I'll show you a better example of it later. But I like the way that they take a direct correlation to the Old Testament in the New Testament, and it's in bold text. So you know that it is a direct quotation from the Old Testament. As we turn into the Old Testament, I like this nice design for that logo. So it just has the book name in red, the chapter number in a larger red number, and red verse numbers that make it really easy to see those verses in the middle of your paragraphs. And yes, that very smallish 7.5 font, while it can be harder to read for some people, like I said, I prefer a slightly larger print on most of my Bibles. Any of the personal and smaller Bibles that I have are going to be actually smaller print than this, which is still really readable. And it is line matched, which makes the readability down there so much better. As you can plainly see here after the Genesis logo, and that line matching helps you to be able to still read that. I like that a lot. So a nice tasteful line on the bottom, then any of your textual footnotes. This is not a cross-reference edition, but there are some references from time to time, but it isn't your typical, like the whole quarter or section of your Bible down here being a cross-reference. Clean tool column design. So I could see on smaller ones like this having more of a single column design, but I've used dual columns for most of my Bible reading life. And it comes out very nice. I do like the way that they're doing this. That line matching makes this so readable. We'll jump to a paragraph section, or I should say a poetry section. So as we get into the Psalms, you will notice that show through. But the nice clean text on that line matching, it's still really, really readable. Now, this isn't a note-taking Bible by any means, because there's only barely a quarter of an inch around your outside edges. But what I do like is that even though those edges are kind of tight, they bring the text from that center margin out enough to where it is really readable. I have some gift Bibles that they are writing that line to where you can't even read it because it's just so far into that line. I like the idea of a Bible that's got inside references so that the way the references are what's in there and you can still read the body of the text very, very well. Let's jump forward into the New Testament. And as we get into the New Testament, you will see that this is not a red letter Bible. So the only red markings are going to be your book names, your chapters, and any of the verse numbers. And right off the bat, you'll see what I was talking about why you would read your preface, because there is a bold set of words here. Now, these words in bold are a direct quotation from the Old Testament. That's why they're in bold letters. It kind of makes it pop out to you, so you can more easily reference what they're talking about. And I love that they do that. And most of the time, those words in bold are where you're going to see your only real cross references. Because at the bottom of the page, you'll see on Matthew 1:23, if you go to that it's Matthew 1:23. This is a direct reference to Isaiah 7:14. So even though it's not a reference Bible, they have some cross references, so you can kind of see what they're talking about there. I do like that little bit of a feature. And Matthew has a lot of references to the Old Testament. You can see here Matthew 2:18, so 2:18 as well. So they other read this, Rama, Lamentations, and Weeping, but it's also a cross-reference to HS 1:11, so Hosea 1:11. Very nice. I do like this. So it is small, but about the reading level that I read, which is just about chest level, one-handed. This reads really well in one hand because it likes to set. Bibles that are super floppy, if you're trying to read one-handed, can be difficult because the text will be all over. I do like that for a portable Bible. Let's jump ahead a little bit more, and we'll get to the end of the Bible and show of any other features at the end. So this Revelation ends on 11:04, and right after it, it goes to what they're calling a where to turn section. These are helpful little answers to maybe small questions you'd have, like where to go to when you're blue, or when you're tired, when you are weak, when you feel you've left God, or when you're anxious. So it tells you the scripture reference And what's really helpful for a newer believer is it has the page reference on there, so it's much easier to find. After that, it goes to a table of weights and measures. And then it has one blank page. Now, I do like seeing some of the newer Bibles coming out that have multiple sheets on the end for notes, and especially something like this, which is going to be really portable and really small. It's not a lot of room to put any notes. Like, I could see some highlighting and maybe some underlining to help, maybe keep a reference instead of, an actual note. When we go into these maps, these are a little bit smaller than I think they could have been printed, but they're really clean. The printing is really well done. It's on this thicker paper. It goes into the back in sheets and the cover. Very nice work on these corners. And yeah, you can see that's going to develop some character. You see how that has a wrinkling to it? This is very nice. I think this would kind of compare to the kind of almost Pit Minion style. So the text is a little bit larger than Pit Minion. So Pit Minion is a little bit smaller with maybe a center column reference on there. So that text type is going to be really small. So this is just a little bit bigger. But in my opinion, it's a little bit smaller than what I would consider to be a personal size Bible. So Holman actually produces this too, which is a New American Standard Bible, personal size. But this is more of I think this is almost a 10-point font compared to this. So if we look at these two font sizes side by side, you'll kind of see what I mean. So this is much smaller text, but you can kind of see this larger text, even though it's larger, and it is mostly line matched, it's still a little difficult to read behind it. And this, it's clean. I mean, that text, I like the font that they're using, which is really readable even with that small of a size. And you can kind of see how well Holman's doing with their leather touches. I mean, I do like the way the leather comes out on this, and has that feel that feels pretty similar too. I do like it. Now, for something that I would keep and carry with me as like an everyday carry, I would love something like this because it's small, it's compact, it's fairly light, and yeah, it's easy to tuck into a bag. I've got so much stuff in my bag anyways that if I added one of my heavy monster Bibles in here, I would almost need to have, a hand cart or something to pull it along behind me. But something like this would be perfect for on the go traveling. It's really well constructed, and I think that this will last you quite a long time. And with that brings us to the end of this video. I really like what Holman is doing in this series. So it's a really high quality Bibles, more premium Bibles, but less of a premium cost. So I really do like what they're doing with this handcrafted collection. With that, this brings us to the end of this video. We hope that you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know on the bottom of in the comments whether you like this handcrafted series, whether you think that the smaller type font would actually work for you. But all in all, I really like what they're doing with this and the rest of the series. So we hope that you have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. We hope to see you in the next video.